We thought when we developed person-centered planning, that essential lifestyle planning, that all we really had to do was to go around and train people. If we taught them how to write good plans, people would get good lives. And some people did get good lives, but many people got good paper. So we kept working on doing a better job of teaching planning, and discovered that what we really needed to do was teach all the people who touched the person how to implement plans rather than simply how to write plans.
So you mentioned there that training wasn't enough. What else can we do other than train people?
Training in planning or training in person-centered thinking is simply the classic rock in the pond. If you drop a rock in the pond, you get big ripples, but the pond goes flat just in a few minutes. So you really need to figure out how you're going to help people practice the skills, use the skills, live the skills. And there needs to be somebody who does that. So what we found is that frontline managers, middle managers, interested professionals have a coaching role. We need to help them be able to coach people into competence, into habit.
So Michael, tell me a bit more about what role you see managers having in person-centered thinking and person-centered planning.
The coaching role of managers is first to go out and use the skills themselves, to be able to see how the skills apply, to be able to see how they can make changes in people's lives, to be able to see how they can make meetings run more effectively and more efficiently using not only person-centered thinking skills, but positive and productive meeting skills. And as they do that, they start to discover not only what needs to be changed in the lives of the person, but what needs to be changed in the organization. And that is where we ran into the next issue. Managers have a glass ceiling. Frontline managers have a glass ceiling. If they can't get the changes necessary in the organization, they run out of the positive changes that they can make.
And what people need to do next? What happens when managers have reached the level of their influence and can't go any further?
Well, at that point, the organizational management, the senior management, needs to be listening. And what we discovered is they need to be listening sooner than that. If we really want change to happen, managers, senior managers, need to go on a learning journey. They need to be listening to people as they make discoveries, listening to the stories that they're telling about the struggles that they're having, listening to the successes that they're having, so that one clever thing that gets learned in a place gets shared so it can be done in other places. Celebrating the successes and what they're doing right, but also listening for what needs to change, listening for what needs to happen, and then bringing in quality management skills so that people can make the changes needed.
So it sounds like you're saying that person-centered thinking is not only used with individuals directly, but also in teams and across the whole organisation. What else is required to make the changes that you're talking about?
Well, person-centered thinking is not only used across the organization, but it needs to be used across the system. People need to also see it as just how broadly applicable it is. It's applicable for any system that's working with humans who are at risk of losing control of their lives. And part of what needs to happen is each level of the organization, each level of the system, needs to be hearing the stories about what's working, what's not working, what are the things we need to celebrate, what are the things we need to change, and saying how can we act on that and learn from it and be able to see how what really worked for us yesterday may not work for us as well today, and how we need to continue to change and learn.
Thank you very much.